That's not funny. I'm going to need you to reel it in. Try Before We Die, the whiskey review show where we don't know what we're drinking, but we'll tell you what we're thinking. Hey, do you know what I did earlier today?
No.
Changed the batteries in this shirt.
Wow. Should dim it too.
Yeah. No. Turn it up all the way.
That's bright.
Yeah.
Is it one of your fishing shirts? Is that so you don't get lost on the freaking river?
This is so if something terrible happens to me, they'll be able to find me in the river.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh, just hope I just be gone.
Well, you know.
Yeah. You're going to try until Malcolm dies.
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
The whiskey review show where we just randomly find a bottle based upon the suggestion, the requirement, the recommendation of the
Randolph, the Randy,
So who's a Randy?
Who's a Randy?
Yeah, well, there's the wrestler, right? But who's another Randy? Wasn't
who's the pitcher?
For
Seattle.
Randall. The Birdman. Randall.
Oh, Birdman.
Goose.
He was wicked tall.
Yeah, and he had a beak.
And he could pitch like nobody's business.
Yeah,
he was the closer.
I feel like Goose.
I can't think of his name.
Oh, we're going to have to look that up. I know exactly who Mal's talking about. Randall. It'll probably pop up in the episode. We'll get it, not from the crew. Don't tell us, guys. Let's see if the brain can make it happen. But let's see what this Randy has in store for us, Mal.
Please.
All right, here we go. Tonight, unscripted, unplanned, as always, should be painfully obvious. We're going to open commonly available or, oh, you're really going to open that bottle of Scotch whiskey tonight?
Woof.
Just shy of our high bottle ever. So this is bottle. I know where we're going. So this is bottle 381. This is going to put us on a brand new shelf in the bar.
Oh my God.
This is, I might be wrong. But fire up your chocolate.
All right.
Let's see everybody at the newest shelf in the bar. It's going to take us a second to figure out where we're going. Bottle 381. So we have a new shelf of whiskey here. This is one of our many secrets from my wife. So we have 379 stickered and labeled, so I don't have to do any more thinking or math. We add 2 to get 381, 79, 80, 81. This brings us to an Abunadh. Now, we're continuing to learn about pronunciation. Abunadh. We started at Abunadh to Abunadh, and I actually believe it might be Abunadh. We'll find out more. I'm sure you'll give us some feedback. We've got this cask strength, batch 67. They're up to about 79 now in the States. So we're going back a couple years. And we're coming in at, looks like 59.8 ABV for this Speyside single malt cask strength wax topped release from Aberlour. We'll see everybody right there when we uncork this beauty.
Before we die with a bearded man and a British guy.
Did you get your chocolate on?
I'm going to in a second.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because that's like a chocolatey sherry drink.
This is the what?
Sherry bomb.
All right. Did you hear what I said about pronunciation?
I like the Abunadh.
I like Abunadh too. A few people have jumped in on our chats, though, our comments, and have said Abunadh, as in, I think, E-E-R.
Right.
And so, remember we started with Abunadh?
Abunadh. Aberlour Abunadh.
Yeah, and then as
Abunadh.
Aberlour Abunadh.
Abunadh.
We really thought we had leveled up our pronunciation game.
And now it's Abunadh.
Yeah.
Which is the way it's spelled. Right?
Right, but there's something. All right.
N-A-H, right? At the end. Is it N-A-H at the end?
You don't watch our episodes.
No.
So we got corrected on something else. Aberlour means what?
I have no idea.
This is
Wow.
pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Aberlour means what?
I don't know.
It's like a mouth of the bubbling burn or something like that. The head of the creek.
Brook, head of the creek.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. In what language?
Gaelic.
So we learned something new. Thank you. Folks who will say that word, Gaelic, are actually from where?
England.
Who's your favorite neighbor?
Scotland.
Who's your favorite neighbor?
Ireland.
Yes. Apparently in Scotland, you'd say Gaelic.
Okay, all right, we're playing that game now. Phonics.
Are you hooked?
No.
Okay. So which batch number do we have? And tell us the other batches we've done on the show. And remind me again of which batch I don't have.
I think you don't have the 64.
Why is that?
Because for some reason, in the middle of nowhere, after several bottles being there, they disappeared overnight.
Instead of just buying them,
Instead of just buying them.
you said, go get them yourself.
Because I find it hard to believe that that place would have been inundated with people going out to buy the Aberlour Abunadh.
Oh, the crew is happy with you.
Oh, no, they called me number one.
All right. So what batches have we had on the show?
78, right?
No.
I have no idea. How am I supposed to remember that?
54 and 74.
Okay.
So this will be our first 60s on the show. However, not our first 60s.
No, because there's one sitting in my house.
There's one at your house, which is really good.
It is really good.
It is really good. There are folks out there who are saying that after the 60s, they would declare quality is just not what it was. And I can't speak to that. I would suspect a little bit that, another fella on the comment section mentioned something about who drinks like all the sherry, right? And so as distilleries need more and more sherry casks because there are more and more distilleries coming online, it's a well-liked finish.
That's actually an interesting question. Who drinks all the sherry?
And so that's some of the background to the where sherry seasoned has come from. So instead of like a 30-year sherry cask, they're taking sherry and putting it in the barrel for months or a year or two at a time, and then that's it. It's not a truly fully aged sherry.
Because rest in peace, my mother was a massive sherry drinker, but we're talking like 20, 30 years ago.
Right. Different generation.
And she would have like one glass at Christmas or the big things, but that was it.
Did you say massive sherry drinker and then follow it up
Yes.
with one glass at Christmas?
Correct. Because then I was like, I shouldn't be saying massive sherry drinker.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. That's actually an interesting take because you never really think about it.
Yep.
Those sherry casks were made for sherry.
Right. So when you talk about a 30-year sherry, which is a thing, but some sherries, are only aged for, late months,
I know
early
no
years.
one that says, I'm going to have a glass of sherry after dinner or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No one. Zero.
Kaput.
So someone has to be drinking all that sherry.
Nada.
Yeah. I think that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Who's drinking all that sherry?
Right. And so that may be a contributor to
The fact that
why they're saying, you can tell a little difference between the early batches and, sort of those mid-range batches and these later batches, because so there's a batch 14 here, which is a 2005 release. Okay. So we're talking almost 20 years ago from today, which is 2024. Right. And so the further back in time you go, perhaps the more availability of sherry casks that were just sort of around and, we don't know what to do with them or whatnot, or not as much demand from the distilleries. So today we have batch 67, Malcolm.
67.
67. 6-7.
So 2 years after mine, correct? I have the 65.
I hope people watch these episodes because you have the 64.
64, excuse me.
Yeah. And so 3 years.
How many?
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. That matches some of the emotional maturity around me at sometimes.
0.
All right. It's a nice ruddy color.
Ruddy.
Not that football player from that movie. Rudy.
Rudy.
Oh, Rudy.
God. Yeah, no, it has that.
We had a comment once about just our knowledge of like 80s movies.
Because we grew up in the 80s.
That's what I said.
It has that mahogany, that rich color to it. which I think all the Abunadhs
right. Sort of
look
absolutely.
like that. It would be handy if like
Sherry.
maybe a WTF you can do, and you can do all the different batches and try to highlight the colors. And I might even just bring my bottle up just to.
They kind of look like this.
Yeah. Which is,
Ruddy. Yeah. And ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. It's ruddy. All right. So we have a ruddy color, a mahogany color, a hazelnut.
Yeah. Okay. I would give you that.
Well, that's more of a drip than a run.
Yeah. I don't see.
Turn your glass.
Oh, I do. But it's like a large one. They're like.
It's a tear of a clown.
Smokey Robinson? No, but it's like a layered leg. There's more to it. It's like thick.
Right. I mean, I find the volume of liquid in this glass is just holding together.
But I don't really get individuals.
No, there's no rifling.
No fluting.
Right, no fluting. No channels.
No, it's like just like
it's almost as if as it goes up, it cleans the glass and drops back in.
As one big sheet, right?
Yeah. I don't even really have a top. Interesting. All right, batch 67. What did I say? I think I said 59.8 ABV cask strength. 59.8, 67. Spanish Oloroso, non-chill filtered. I cannot imagine any color has been added. Bottled straight from the cask.
Let's whiff it.
Knows it?
Let's whiff it.
Whiff it good?
Yeah.
Ooh. You had it too.
That's because I'm Vim and Vigor. Ooh, it's still
there.
Okay, I can't breathe in.
It's this got said last night, I think, after hours here. There's something pine in here, something menthol, something very sharp and stringent.
And it really clears out your sinuses. There is no hiding from this.
And so now, finally now, I'm picking up the sherry. I'm picking up those notes.
Yeah, I still get like
it is so potent and punchy.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the minute you put your nose towards this and you start to breathe in, you're like, oof.
Oof. You're getting punched in the belly.
But very sweet.
All right, so look across the top. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it
almost
breaking now.
Not hardly moving.
Yeah, but I see it breaking now.
Yeah, there's a couple of runners, right? Yeah. But man, it has hung in there so long. I just wonder how thick this whiskey will be.
Something candied in there. It's really potent, really sweet.
Yeah, I'm now moving into flavors on the nose. I'm actually into that sherry. I'm into some chocolate on top. And then moving into a dark candy underneath.
See, I'm having a hard time picking the chocolate out, but I think it's because it's so vibrant.
Yeah. I feel like that chocolate's right on top.
But every time I bring it
cherry. There's a cherry.
Maybe that's that candy cherry.
Yeah.
But every time I bring it to my nose, I'm like getting cleared out before I can actually take some of the flavoring in.
Oh, no, it's maintaining its punchiness. I agree.
But I don't get as much. The fight isn't as big.
I almost just took a sip. I just want to have some.
But yeah, that's so potent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel myself awakening because of the amount that this is giving me.
Do you ever have those tinfoil wrapped small chocolates that are shaped like an alcohol bottle?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There's something like that happening here. the
chocolate
candy,
liqueurs, but
right?
they had the different flavors inside of them.
Right. The candy the chocolate is just so married to the whiskey right now that it's one in so many ways.
But this smells like every other.
Oh, it feels like
A'Bunadh.
it's an A'Bunadh.
Like every other one I've tried.
Yeah.
It has that same sort of punchiness, the same sort of,
yeah.
this is a drink. You're not talking about 40. You're not talking about 43. You're not talking about 46.
Yeah.
You're drinking.
Right. I mean, if you nose this in and open your mouth, I mean, I just coughed.
What I like about it, though, is that distinct smell that the Abunadh has.
Yeah.
And we've, like I said, we've tried like 3 or 4, let's just say. And each one has this exact same signature. And each one has been really good. Yeah.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Batch 67, 59.8.
Cheers.
The Aberlour Abunadh or Abunadh?
Abunadh.
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 All right. Help us out.
Wow.
That is good. It is long. It is warm. It is sweet. It wraps the whole mouth.
I have that chocolate now.
And that chocolate, yeah. I'm looking for that red fruit, that deep red fruit, that cherry, that plum.
It's at
I know
the
it was a
back.
purple.
It's at the back.
Yeah.
As you bring your tongue up to your top of your mouth.
This is just such an intense drink due to this high ABV.
It's a shot. It's like a shot of adrenaline that goes through your body when you drink this.
Right on the front, it is like it's that chocolate liqueur, right? It is just so potent and deep. And it lasts.
Yeah, there's some heat going through my body. Right in here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say spicy.
Nope. It's like heat.
Warming.
Yes.
Right.
And the mouthfeel of this is really like coating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say velvet because that gets you all jumped up with your velvet voice, but it has that feel like it just layers over you and it just coats.
Right. It wraps around your mouth, your whole flavor, right? The whole mouth, the throat, the upper chest. This is a lasting drink. It is still residing in me. I'm still picking up the hints of that married chocolate and whiskey all over my mouth.
And as much as my body is saying, you're going to fight this. You're going to fight this to the end.
Especially on that initial nosing.
It is so potent, but at the same time, it's just such an enjoyable drink.
This is like the quintessential sherried cask strength Scotch whiskey.
Correct.
And not that others don't have their example of that too, but cask strength sherry.
Correct.
Right. Brought together very well with a viscosity, right? Where the dominant experience is this chocolate liqueur, this dark cherry happening, and this punchy aroma, but that your body absorbs incredibly well.
What I like about it is there is no fight against it. Like I said, because it's well packaged, you get this initial like, oh, this is going to be rough. This is going to be tough. But it really doesn't go through that stages. You drink this and you get this explosion of flavor, absolute explosion of flavor that then also then like goes through and coats your mouth, and then it just heats you up like someone just lit a match, and your whole body feels warm, but you don't feel like you're being overwhelmed.
No, you're not choking this down.
Correct.
Right, for something that's close to 120 proof.
Yes. Yes.
So I just put out some creamy
chocolate.
milk chocolate, but I almost just feel like I suddenly had a little bit of a citrus experience. Are you thinking the orange chocolate or the creamy or something else I'm not anticipating?
So now we've been to the intense orange with other drinks that we've
Yes,
had.
with the other.
I am going to stick with the extra creamy.
I want to try this
because
creamy chocolate.
I know what that's going to end up being.
That's
and I
gonna
know
be
it's a
great.
good marriage.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
This will be interesting to see if it takes a little bit of the edge off and maybe rounds it out a little bit more and brings a little bit more of the chocolate out and a little less of the candy.
All right, let's see what this extra creamy chocolate, milk chocolate. I mean, that's a classic chocolate from when you're a kid.
Wow.
It's good. It felt like the chocolate for me absorbed and matched so well with the chocolate and the whiskey that what I then had was this chocolate experience happening in my mouth. And right alongside it, I had this high potency whiskey happening in my mouth, as if the spirit separated from the cask influences. And so I had this chocolate cask influence and I had this whiskey spirit.
I'm a big sugar fan. So I like the fact that the initial taste of the chocolate gives me this sugar high. Right?
That chocolate especially.
And what made this so wonderful was you get this chocolate, you get this sweetness going, and all of a sudden you get this explosion of alcohol, this sherry bomb that goes off in your mouth. And then, because you still have a little bit of lingering chocolate behind you, you get these sweet notes.
Yeah. No, I'm still picking up the chocolate in my mouth right now.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
I'm going to have another one. Yeah.
That is really good. I like that.
So batch 67, we're about 12 batches behind current release. So that puts this probably a 2021, 2022 release. They release several batches a year. I would say this, it's good. I really enjoy it. I'm still going to hang my hat on, and there's no way I can prove it because the bottle's empty. Batch 54 seemed like it held the most oil we've had in an Aberlour to this point. But this batch 67, it's pretty darn good, and it worked really well with this extra creamy chocolate.
Yeah, our drinks are gone. So, yeah, it was really good.
All right, so while the crew gets us ready for what's on store for the toast tonight, I'll top you up. All right, well, let's see what they have in store for us, because as usual, they're prepared. You've seen it and laughed. I look up.
I think our lives have lived this.
I think everybody that we know says this about everybody that we know.
Very true.
Here's to drinking enough to make you all seem interesting. All right. So this is our third Aberlour on set. This is our fourth Aberlour that we can reflect on. I know we've had other ones, but without the knowledge base we have now. For me, again, I go with the batch 54 as top dog, but this is a nice whiskey.
This is Abunadh. Every sense of the word.
Cask strength, sherry influenced 100%, goes well with the chocolate. That's what you mean.
Sherry bomb.
With a bearded man and a British guy.